Hello and welcome to my review of the Warhammer 40,000 Conquest magazine issue 32. I like to keep the first look and unboxing next to the review if I can, to have one released on one day and one the next. If you don't already know, Warhammer 40,000 Conquest, it's a subscription service run by Hatchett Partworks. It's available in quite a few countries now, including France and Spain and Australia, and just go on the website and you'll find out. It's not available in the States though, unfortunately. But this will cost you £7.99 a week, or they just direct debit you £32 a month, and every week you're basically getting a model or brushes or paints or scenery to help you build up your collection over time. It does save you a considerable amount of money in the long run, if of course you don't own any of the models. If you do own the models, in my opinion, I don't think it's worth it, because you're going to get duplicates, especially when it comes to some of the characters, and you're going to get paints that you might not even need or use for your specific chapter. But if you're brand new to the hobby, it's a really good way of getting models a lot cheaper than they normally are. Now, this is one such issue. It's £7.99. The model you get with this is the Primaris Apothecary, which will normally set you back £22.50. Don't even ask me how much the Space Marine Death Watch Primaris Apothecary costs. Okay, well, seeing as you have, £30.50, so another £8, which is crazy. And the only real difference is the shoulder pauldrons. We'll have a look at the model in a moment, and we'll do some size comparisons, and we'll go through his rules. But first of all, let's just have a little look at the magazine itself. It starts off with apothecaries, as we had a look yesterday. It goes through an apothecary's role on the battlefield. He basically tends to the living and the dead. He removes the progenoid organs from dead Space Marine, and from them all the other gene seed organs are grown. So it's worth him getting these organs out of dead Space Marines so that the chapter can live on. Goes through the Prime Helix and the war gear, which includes the surgical servo arms, the canopic jars, the absolver bolt pistol, and the narthecium. It has a little look at the weapons here. In the rules, he comes with both the absolver bolt pistol and the Reducto Pistol. It can remove the progenoid glands from fallen Space Marines. In the old Space Marine books and things, they never had this Reducto Pistol. They just had like a bolt pistol, and they had this narthecium, which is this thing here. Its profile here says that it cauterizes and stitches wounds, but actually back in the day it was the narthecium that could remove the glands and things, so they've changed that up a little bit. You've got a light and magnifier, you've got a surgical servo arm, you've got armour and bone saws, drills, staplers, syringes, all kinds of manner of things into the hive depths. So this follows this Blood Angels Primaris Apothecary. Pretty cool. Well, it was Blood Angels, now Death Watch. And I think there he is there. Looks really cool in those colours, but you'll need that extra shoulder pauldron to make him one. This goes how to build him. There's a lot of parts, you know, even for £22.50 you do get a fair few parts for him, and he does have a helmetless and helmeted option. You can have the bolt pistol, the Reducto Pistol in his left hand, and you've even got options for his surgical harness. You can have the big syringe, or the armour saw, and a little drill, or even this stapler basically. How to paint him goes on, you know, you really got to get those layers of celestial grey, is it? Celestial grey, to make it work, because getting the white over the blue is pretty tricky, especially if you don't paint it, spray paint it. Personally, I'd spray him with an undercoat first, then base coat's complete, shade and basing, and then a mission briefing, honour thy fallen, recover the gene seed, quite a fun little mission, and then his data sheet. Now it's worth noting that the data sheet of course has changed from the codex. He's still an elite choice, but his power points cost has gone down to a 3, which is actually the same power points cost as a normal standard Space Marine Apothecary. But with the Primaris, you're getting 1 extra wound, 1 extra attack. You're getting the Absolver Bolt Pistol, which is a further range and a better strength and a better AP than a normal pistol. And you're also not getting the Reducto Pistol, which, although it's only a 3-inch range, the AP -3 and damage 2 is pretty significant. You're also getting the Narthessium as well. You know, for the same points cost, I can't see why you'd go for the normal Apothecary. Other than match play points, he is cheaper. We'll go through his data sheet in a moment, and then that's it. Gives you a little look at the next 2 issues, which is the pipeline, which of course there's little or no rules for them, so that's going to be quite a straightforward review. But then the Death Guard villains, that's going to be quite a comprehensive one, because there are 3 there, and I'll go through all of them, all their rules and things. So let's have a look at the model himself. If I just move my light around, zoom in a little bit. So quite a decent model. I've gone for the helmetless version this time, and the Reducto Pistol, and I've changed the syringe thing to a saw and the stapler, mainly because I've got the other options on the other model, and I didn't want them to look too similar. They're going to look similar anyway, because they're in that kind of pose, holding the canopic jar, but as different as I possibly can make. He's got the bolt pistol there in that holster, and it's a lovely scenic base, if you can see that. Try and get the lighting right. Blue's not coming out too well, but yeah, so it's either got the gland from that Space Marine or about to. Yeah, lots of fair amount of attention to detail to single him out as an apothecary. But yeah, pretty cool model. You know, I like all of the kind of character models of the Primaris. I think they've done a good job, except for the Gravis Captain. Let's show you some size comparisons then. So there he is, next to a normal Primaris. Intercessor. He's, yeah, basically, I'd say a little bit taller, just because he's on that scenic base, but for all intents and purposes he's basically the same size, which is fine. You know, I'd like him to be a bit taller, you know, to single him out. Here he is next to a normal Space Marine. As you can see, normal Space Marine barely comes up to the shoulder pauldron of the Primaris Apothecary. Next to Plague Surgeon, which is a similar sort of model, well, but just for the Death Guard, and they are pretty much the same height. I mean, the Apothecary, just with the extra things on the backpack, power pack, sorry, is a bit taller, but I'd say the Plague Surgeon has a bit more bulk. But yeah, similar sort of size, model, role as the Plague Surgeon for Death Guard, which we've had in this set, or we're going to have in this set. Next to, I don't know why, I've just got a Redemptive Dreadnought there. Redemptive Dreadnought is, you know, one of the tallest dreadnoughts they do, so very big compared to that Apothecary. Next to a Rhino, I mean, I've got the Death Guard Rhino here. Yeah, he's pretty big next to a Rhino, to be honest. So yeah, there he is next to a Rhino. So I hope those size comparisons have helped. So this is my part of the review where I will go through all of his rules and things. So you'll find him in the Elite section of your brand new Space Marine Codex, which came out this year in 2019. He is an elite choice, as I've said. His power points cost is a 3, and his match play points cost is 60, which is only 10 points more than the normal Apothecary. And really, for those extra 10 points, I don't see why you wouldn't choose him. The Reducto Pistol is free, and so is the Absolver Bolt Pistol. So he is a straight up 60 points, just 10 points more, gets you that extra wound and extra attack, and the better ranged weapons, I'd say. A Primaris Apothecary is a single model equipped with an Absolver bolt pistol, Reducto Pistol, frag grenades and crack grenades. His stat line reads movement of 6 inches, weapon skill and ballistic skill both 3+, strength 4, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 8 and a save of 3+. So the Absolver bolt pistol, it's a range 16-inch pistol 1 weapon. It's a strength 5, AP -1 and a damage of 1, which make it better than the bolt pistol. You know, it's got 4 inches better range, a better strength and a better AP. The Reducto Pistol, it's very short range though, it's only 3 inches. Again, it's pistol 1, it's only strength 4, but it is AP -3 and a damage of 2. So against a character or something with more than 1 wound, with a good armor save, that's what you're going to be using. Frag grenades and crack grenades are usual stat line. The abilities is Angels of Death and Narthessium. Now this is one of the reasons why you'd pick him for the Narthessium. At the end of the movement phase, this model can provide medical attention to 1 friendly chapter infantry or chapter biker unit within 3 inches of it. If that unit contains a model that has lost any wounds, that model regains up to D3 lost wounds. Otherwise, if any models from that unit have been destroyed, roll 1d6. On a 4+, you can return 1 destroyed model from that unit to the battlefield with 1 wound remaining, placing it within 3 inches of this model and in unit coherency. On a 3 or less, this model cannot shoot, charge or fight this turn as it recovers the gene seed from the fallen warrior. Each unit can only be provided by medical attention once per turn. Keywords: Imperium, Adeptus Astartes, Character, Infantry, Primaris and Apothecary. So that is the main reason why you get the Apothecary, is to regain up to 3 lost wounds. You know, probability wise, they're going to be regaining 2 or more lost wounds, which is very decent. You can only do it once per turn though, which is still fine. You know, regaining 2 or 3 lost wounds for a model is pretty good, especially if he's near a character or something. If you really want that a model that's been completely destroyed, such as a character, 50/50 is pretty good. You know, to have a character up and running again. So he's a very decent unit, quite cheap. Yes, he doesn't have a high toughness or an invulnerable save or anything, but he does have 5 wounds at the end of the day. You need to keep him close to units, but he's just not going to be very good in combat. He's going to rely on the Absolver and Reducto Pistols. That's all he's really got. Would have been nice if the Narthessium could do something like reduce the armor penetration for his normal attack by 1. I don't know, because he's got like armor saws and stuff on. Maybe he could use them as weapons. Or maybe if he's revived, you know, a couple of Space Marines or even a hero, then he has some kind of trait, you know, protect the gene seed at all costs kind of thing, which invigorates and motivates all the troops around him to, you know, increase their number of attacks or reroll saves or something like that. That would be great. That would be a further addition to this. But I guess it doesn't matter how much gene seed he's carrying. All the units and troops and things around him are just going to do their job as normal. But it would be nice to incorporate something extra into his rules. What do you guys think of the model and of the rules and its points cost and things? Please do put it in the comments below. I do like the Conquest magazine when it includes these single sort of £20 plus miniatures. I think it's worth the money at that point, not when you only get sort of like 2 paints and things. Anyway, it'd be great to hear from you. Put your comments below. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.